Hey there, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video I'm doing a review of the Kikki planners. So this one is an academic year planner. They put out various weekly layouts and styles. This one's not a common one that most planner companies typically do. The weekly spread is a cross between a vertical and a horizontal, which was what really drew me to the planner. So before we have a look at the weekly spread, let's just have a look at the cover. So it's got this really pretty gold. See the shimmer? Love it. Love anything with gold. It's about 1 centimeter thick, and because it's got this sewn bookbinding style, it's quite lightweight because it doesn't have a spiral coil. I could see it getting a bit scuffed and dirty over time though. This one was an ex-display stock one, so given that lots of people would have been flicking through it, it is in pretty good condition, so I have to see how it holds up after a year of use. As for the size, it is about 6 inches wide by about 8.5 inches high, and it does have an elastic enclosure to keep it all together, but because I'm filming this one hand, I'm holding my iPhone in the other hand. I couldn't take it off one-handed, but that is the elastic enclosure if you want to keep everything together. It's very light, so it could easily fit in your purse. So it's an academic year planner for 12 months, and then obviously all the little extra pages that the Kikki planners usually include. So let's have a look inside. Just one thing, I've got it on sale for 10 bucks, so if you're after a cheap planner or you're using a planner, it's partway through the year and you're finding that it's just not working for you and you want to get another one, go to the sales section, not only of Kikki, but of like any planner company and online as well, about halfway through the year, especially October, if they've still got ones from the start of the year, and then for academic year around January when I'm filming this is when they'll put them all on clearance. So this one's originally 40 bucks and I got it for only 10 bucks. So definitely check out the sales section. That's when I usually buy all my planners. Okay, so because it is this sewn bookbinding style, it does want to just like self-close. So if you go to one of the spreads in the middle, it's not too bad, but if I go further over, it just wants to close itself, which is my main gripe when it comes to these types of planners. So when I want to use this planner, I tend to leave it open to the page that I want it on, and then stick a heavy book on it so that it will lay flat when it comes time for me to want to use it. You could also just hold it with one hand if you're writing on it, but that annoys me. Okay, so let's have a look at the start. So it's got this little bookmark. It does feel rather thin cardstock, but it's there if you need it because there are no tabs on this. No monthly dividers, which is a major con for me. So you will need to use sticky notes or paper clips to mark your place. It does have a built-in ribbon bookmark, 2 of them if you wanted to mark the monthly and the weekly pages. That way, but any of the extra pages or other stuff, if you're doing ongoing note-taking, you may need to add those sticky notes to keep your place. So personal information page. In terms of the paper, my first impressions are that it feels quite thin, and I also really do not like the yellow tinge to it. I really like when paper is bright white, and this one's got a bit of a yucky yellow to it, which feels a bit cheap, and it is rather thin, so I will definitely be doing a pen test, and I'll include the link to the blog post that will have that in the description box below. So 2017 and 2018 dates at a glance. Starts on a Monday, and then the monthly spread starts on a Monday. Woohoo, it coordinates. Okay, so this calendar is pretty good. I quite like this layout because it's got a large sidebar. Most monthly calendars just have a really tiny one, and then you can't fit much in it. If you write tasks, it extends over multiple lines, and it's just not as practical as having a nice big sidebar like this. So I only tend to use a monthly calendar for meal planning, so put the meal in the box and then have the grocery list on the sidebar, which is good because then you can take it all with you because you're always going to be carrying your planner anyway. The other way that I use monthly calendars is for blog planning, where I have all the blog posts, and then I have backup blog posts, blog maintenance ideas, people to contact, etc. in the sidebar. So I really like that it's nice and wide, so then I can fit one task per line and get a lot more into the page. So there's no public holidays or national holidays pre-printed on this one, probably because Kikki is now not just sold in Australia, it's sold overseas, so I guess I don't want to put any specific holidays in, but then they do on the weekly spread, so that's kind of odd. Okay, so there are, but on the weekly spread only. Anyway, that could get annoying because it's going to have all these holidays that don't apply, like Hong Kong, I'm not in Hong Kong. Yeah, okay, that could be a bit annoying. Okay, so weekly spread starts on a Monday as well, same as the monthly calendar, which is great because some planner companies, for whatever weird reason, start the monthly calendar on a Sunday and then the weekly spread on Monday, and it doesn't line up, and then it all gets me confused. So I'm glad that it coordinates. Big note section, love this, love it, love it, love it. So that would be really good for habit tracking, a nice big wide space, very functional. Also really like this weekly spread, how it's a bit different. So I don't tend to plan by time. I tend to just do a big to-do list for each day and then just cross it off as I go. But the times that I have planned to, I guess, somewhat of a schedule, I've tended to just done an AM PM, which is what this layout does as well. And it's so small that you could easily just white it out and just use it as lined writing space if you wanted to. So lots of space, and I do like that you've got a bit of space up the top here if you wanted to put a birthday rather than it down the bottom here if you were still writing stuff or flag any bills due, so you got that little bit of extra space. I kind of don't understand why it's got birthdays printed on every single day. I do not know 365 people, so I would not be putting in that many birthdays. Seems a bit of a waste of space to me. It also kind of annoys me when they put in these little things here, which is like their marketing material or their freebies that come when you buy a planner. Like, just put that on a spare piece of paper. Don't take up functional planning space in the weekly spreads. That kind of irritates me when they do that. Okay, so let's have a look. Keep going. Oh, it does have these quotes down the bottom here too. If you like quotes, different one for each week. Would probably be better if that was lined, but I would tend to just put I think I'll just put a sticker there, like habit tracking, maybe some bill due or a list making sticker in there. I like that it tells you the week number for the year, and it's got this up the top with the month and the year. So if you're flicking, you can find it more easily, what you're looking for, since there's no tabs. So if we keep going, so far so good in terms of the monthly calendar, with none of them splitting the last box. So if you watch any of my other planner videos, you'll know that it's my absolute pet hate when they take, so for example, if it didn't have enough room in the last row to put all the dates, then I'll tend to like put a line and split the box, which I cannot stand, rather than restarting the numbering. Let's have a look at a couple of the other monthly calendars and see if they do that as well. So far so good. I am noticing though that it's got 6 lines on this calendar. So September starts there, and then it's also got that whole week of October in there. So they're not splitting the boxes, but they are doing 6 lines, which is making each box smaller. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. It'd probably be better if they just did 5 boxes and made them bigger. So let's skip to the stuff at the back of the planner. So we got some notes pages lined, very good. Fair few of these. As you can see, I'm struggling to keep this open because it just wants to close itself. So if that really bugs you, bookbinding planners probably not going to be a good fit for you. Websites with logins and usernames, or maybe just your favorite websites. A wish list, it's quite handy. Movies to see. I tend to keep all this in a separate notebook, but if you like to keep everything together, then it's already built in for you. Books, restaurants, expenses. See how many of these pages there are. I like that it's done by category. There's a few of them, that's pretty good. They'll probably be enough to last you a whole year. And then addresses. Don't know why planner companies still include this, because everyone just keeps it on their phone, but it's there if you need it. Okay, so public holidays. So they've pretty much got everything in the world covered. Malaysia, Ireland, France, all these other countries, and Australia, where I'm from. So you could live anywhere in the world and use this planner, because they've pretty much got every single country on there. And we're still going for 2018. And then at the back, quote. This feels like thin cardstock, just protect from dust. And one of the other things that I really like is that this planner comes with stickers. Look how cute these are. Love it, gold foil. I've seen some of these packs in the shop and I have resisted. So I'm so glad that it came for free with the planner. Really love these. They're quite cute and they're small. Very small. So if I get my ruler out, they are about 0.75 inches by probably 0.25. Little less than 0.25 inches high, so they're not going to take up much space on the weekly spread, which is great. It does only come with 1 sheet, but you can get more in store in a little pack. Or my sister has started doing foil stickers in her shop, which is carefully crafted by Jo on Etsy. I'll include the link below. So that's just the product packaging, which I'll rip off in a sec. So you do have that little pocket folder if you want to put other stuff in there other than their little stickers, if you had bills or something like that. And it is expanding a fair bit. It does feel pretty tight too, so stuff's not going to fall out, which is good. And then same pattern on the back cover as the front. So overall, not bad. I personally would not pay 40 bucks for it, but for 10 bucks on sale, I reckon that is pretty cheap. So I'm quite happy with this planner as something different to normal vertical and horizontal weekly spreads. Kikki do a whole bunch of different planners as well, and they change regularly, so make sure you grab one if you want it, because there's been a couple that I wanted and then they sold out because they change it fairly quickly. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I was not paid for this video or anything. It's my own opinion. So I hope you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Link is below if you want more planner videos, and I also have a ton posted on my blog, which is allaboutplanners.com.au. I'll see you in the next video.